Welcome in, everybody. James Phillips here. This is the first edition of the Coach Philip Bailey Show. Coach Bailey, happy to introduce you as the 36th head football coach at Walker Jasper High School.
Thank you, man. It's such a privilege for me to be here. So many emotions, really, still, and it's just very humbling for, all the people that have reached out. Current players, former players, parents, coaches, all kind of people from the community. It means a lot, man, and I'm just so thankful to be here. Thankful to Dr. Jackson and Coach Jordan and Mr. Allen and believing in me and trusting me with this program. It means a great deal. So we're excited, thrilled, and still just very blessed.
Right. Well, just I guess tell everybody a little bit about you. You've only been here for a couple of years, and you're kind of behind the scenes more than anything else, with Coach Moore being the head coach. So tell everybody how you got here and why you wanted to be here and be the head coach.
Yeah, I'll kind of just give you the rundown on that. So I was born in Birmingham. That's really where all my people are from. When I was a baby, moved to Auburn, so that's where I grew up, went to high school there. Then I went to Huntington College in Montgomery. That's where I got my undergrad. Played football there for Coach Turk. Had a tremendous experience. I was around some really good men, really good coaches. Taught me a lot. Left there, I went to Georgia Southern. I was a grad assistant coach over there for 2 years. Got my master's. Then I ended up at Maryville College in Maryville, Tennessee. It's a Division III school, a lot like Huntington or Birmingham Southern. I was there for 5 years. Got married while I was up there. I had both my boys were born, when I was at Maryville. And it was just time for us to get back closer to home, find a place and really put down some roots. I had known Brian for a while. Brian actually coached me when I was in high school. He had an opportunity at Eufaula, and it was time to take that. So I went to Eufaula. I was there for 1 season. I was there for, I guess we got there in June, and then he took the job here in January, so we wasn't there long. I came up here to Jasper with him, which my wife was thrilled about. My wife is from Pleasant Grove.
Right.
She's got a big family, so she was thrilled about that. So we got here. Jasper has been phenomenal to us. Since we got here, we've really been embraced by this community. We just kind of feel like we connect, with the people here. My wife is the librarian at Maddox. My son, my oldest boy, Cooper, he's a first grader at TR, and then Wallace, he goes to daycare there at the Methodist Church. So, man, just really felt connected to this community since we've been here, and I knew if this opportunity ever presented itself, that I was going to do everything I could to try to be the head coach at Jasper. And God just kind of worked it out. He moved those pieces, and here we are.
Right, it's kind of a surprise to be to be even having this show right now.
Absolutely, yeah, it's fun. It's funny how God works, man. His plans are bigger than ours, and you never see all the pieces that He's moving. And again, just so humbled, man, and so thankful. I'm extremely blessed to be here.
Well, and for people who don't know, you've been the offensive coordinator, strength coach, and worked with the offensive line. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. And I know all three of those things are kind of a passion for you. Will you continue to do all those, or what's your plan?
As of right now, yes. I'll kind of continue to do that. And we've been blessed around here. We've had a lot of really good players, that have led to a lot of the success that we've had on offense. So I'm still, most of our staff wants to stay in place. I would say almost everybody does, and as the next coming weeks, we'll see. There might be a couple of those pieces that move. But these guys want to be in Jasper, and that's a testament to Jasper. That's a testament to our city, our community, our school. These guys want to be here. So we'll kind of see, how those pieces fit, as far as play calling and all that kind of stuff. But I won't ever get too far away from those three things, the offensive line and calling football plays and that strength program. I'm going to have my hands, on that stuff.
I think I heard you say that the toughest job on the team might be if you bring in an offensive line coach.
Yeah, that's my baby now. That's where my heart for this whole deal started. So the day that I ever give that up, the guy who coaches the offensive line will probably have the hardest job in America. And that probably has a lot more to do with me than it does him. I'm sure he'll be very capable in his own right, but I just, you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah,
so.
yeah. Talk about the team a little bit. How's the response been? I mean, I know it's just been a day now, but how's the response been from the team?
The response has been great, man. I've heard from a lot of them. We have a ton of our guys that are in other sports right now, which is good. I've always advocated them playing other sports and developing their skill set. Our wrestling team, I'm sure you've been following those guys.
Right.
They are doing unbelievable right now. And then we got a good number of guys in baseball and basketball. So we got about 35 that are just football guys that we're training down in the weight room. And they've been great. They're coming to work, man. So they're good.
Yeah, you think they were scared that you might get the job since you work them so hard?
No. Everything that I heard from all those guys was positive. You know, and they all were supporting me, which again, that's very humbling, to have their support going through this. So.
Well, and everybody, I'm sure, is automatically going to, they connect you with Coach Moore since you came here with him. What's the differences between you guys that people might say?
Yeah, and Coach Moore did a lot around here, and he's a good man and a good football coach. And I'm not trying to be Brian Moore. I can't be Brian Moore. You know, I got to be Philip Bailey. And you know, there'll be things that you see that are different, you know, moving forward, and there'll be things that are the same. You know, there's a lot of things that he did around here that we've done over the past 2 years here that are very positive things. And I'm not going to come in and try to overcorrect and change those things just because, like, well, I got to make it different than Brian. No, if something's working, then we'll continue to do that. But there'll be things that we do differently, you know, and I just got to be me. That's, you know, I've reached out to a lot of people, mentors, and that was the biggest piece of advice that I heard was like, just be you, man. Be genuine, be authentic, love them kids, coach them, and just be you. So that's what I aim to do.
What's your personality for people who don't know you?
My personality for people that don't know me, I would like to consider myself a genuine guy. You know, I care about people. That's kind of always been my passion is relationships, and I don't know. I think you can work really hard and still have a good time.
Right.
You know, I've heard a lot of people say that about me. We're going to work now, but we also got to have fun. I mean, if you spend as much time doing this as we do, you need to enjoy yourself. You need to enjoy the people around you, enjoy those relationships. You can do both. You can work hard and have a good time. So I'd say that's probably, for people that don't know me, that's who I am.
Now, you mentioned the coaching staff. Any additions you think you're going to have to make?
Yeah, I will. Well, I'll definitely have one offensive guy that'll be hired, a quarterbacks guy, and obviously I've got some guys identified, you know, that I've already had conversations with, and we'll see. We'll see who God brings to Jasper.
That'll be good. How about schedule-wise? Everybody talks about the region. You know, that's been a lot of discussion around the coaching change, around everything right now. How tough is this region?
It's very tough. There's a lot of very good football coaches and very good football players and very good football programs in this region that we're going into. And the way I've kind of termed it to people, we can't focus on the things that we can't control. We can't control who's on the schedule. We couldn't control it the past 2 years. We're not going to be able to control it the next 2 years. We just got to focus on doing what we need to do to win football games. And, you know, I spoke to the team this morning. At the end of the day, this is still a game about blocking and tackling. It don't matter if we're playing the Green Bay Packers. Like, we have to go out and play. The same things that won football games, you know, we're still going to win them, and the same things that lose football games, we're still going to lose them. So we're not naive to the challenge. We're not naive to the step up in competition. We fully understand that. But we're not going to shy away from it or back down either. You know, we got to be ready to go. It's going to be a fight every Friday night. We got to buckle up and be ready to play.
Well, a lot of people probably thought y'all would take a step down in your non-region games, but y'all didn't do that either.
No, we didn't. Every week, every Friday night. So our non-region games are Mars Hill, who went 14-1 last year, played for a state championship. Coleman, I mean, you know everything about the Jasper-Coleman rivalry. Demopolis, who is a traditionally strong program, and then Bessemer City, you know, so right down the road. So every one of those, every Friday night, all 10 games, I mean, it is going to be it's going to be a brawl. So we're excited, man. We're excited to have the chance to go compete, fight as hard as we can fight, and let the chips fall where they fall.
There'll be a lot of changes player-wise. Y'all had a pretty big senior class.
We did.
Who's some people that you're going to have to lean on that people might not know or realize this next season?
Yeah, we did. You know, from last year's senior class, there was a lot of good football players, you know, who are now moving on to the next phases. But we got a lot of good football players coming back. You know, I mean, I guess starting on offense, wide receiver Denzel Chapman is a guy that we're going to count on a lot. Preston Reed, you know, is a guy, he's #1 wrestler in the state right now in his weight class. He's a tremendous athlete, and there's others. You know, offensive line probably took the biggest hit for graduation. 4 of those starters, you know, were seniors. Dalton Dawkins will be returning, Jackson Blackwell, Colin Langley, Carson Alvis, who played fullback for us last year, will probably have to go back to offensive line. Luke Skelton, you know, and there's others there. Got both the quarterbacks coming back, Parker Sawyer, Spencer Rosenfeld. So we're still kind of working through that. Both those guys are really good athletes. And at their core, they're football players. So one of them's going to end up playing another position for us. And the good thing for us is that they're able to do that. You know, I had 2 really good running backs that graduated, Caden Shelton and J.C. Collins. Still got Trayvon Stewart coming back. Jody Hester was a guy who came to us, very excited about him and kind of what his role looks like. He's a big body that can do a lot of things. Jaden Caldwell is a guy that has ability, you know, at running back. Andre Neal played tight end and fullback for us. He's coming back. He's a big piece of the puzzle for us. Defensively, you know, we got E.J. Colbert, Jaden Vance, and Brody Benson, you know, at D-line, so we feel good about those guys. Brody Benson's the #1 heavyweight wrestler in the state there. So linebacker Stone Phillips is a guy that, you know, that we're counting on. Lee Walker. And then there's others. I'm trying to think of them all off the top of my head. On the back end, it's Caden Marchbanks, Kevon Samuel playing corner for us. Aubrey Jones has played back there. Mason Slaughter. So we got a lot of guys. I mean, there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and that's what I told them this morning. I said, guys, you have what it takes to do this, but it's going to take every one of you, and it's going to take every bit of every one of you to go after this deal. So we're excited.
How about coaches? You mentioned you think most everybody will stick around.
I think so. Yeah, every guy that I've talked to on staff, they want to be in Jasper. Might have a couple of pieces of the puzzle,
Right.
that God leads other places, but I feel like either everybody or most everybody's going to be here.
Right. What do you say to the community?
I love the community here. Yeah, I mean, we spend one day every week in the off season going out and doing some type of community service. And I've always said that if you want your community to come out and support you on Friday nights, then you need to go out and serve your community, and you need to be visible in doing that. The community here is tremendous, man. And I've had so many from the community who have reached out and support, kind of going through this process and since I got the job. And Jasper's a special place, and I've been enough other places to know that not every place is like this. And Jasper's a special place, man.
Well, there's probably not many places in the state where you get named the head coach on Tuesday night, Wednesday night?
Wednesday, yeah. The
Wednesday
board meeting
night.
was last night.
And then Thursday morning, you're already doing a radio interview
That's right.
and newspaper coaches show interview. Like, that's pretty good exposure for a high school team.
It absolutely is, and Jasper's a place that cares about football. That's the place you want to be. You want to play football in a program like this. You want to coach football in a program like this, with people that care about football. And, man, it's tremendous.
Yeah. Anything else you just want to say about family, community? I mean, they're watching, so.
Yeah, we're grateful to be here. My family loves it here. We aim to be in Jasper for a long time. Thank you guys for everything. I love everybody. Go Vikes.
Go Vikes. All right, Coach, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to this next season.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you when football starts back.